afternoon and welcome. My name is Michelle Dutrissa and I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up here in New South Wales, Australia. Thanks for joining me today. Hi Nicole, thanks for joining. I thought today what we might try to do is a little bit of scrapbooking. I have found a layout done by a demonstrator in America and I really love it. So I've got some old photos that I found recently of my boys when they were younger. And I did one a couple of months ago, and they were their Santa photos, but I've got a few more, and I thought what I might try to do is do that one today. I like the layout that she's used. It's using the reindeers. Whoops, let me just grab the paper so I can get the correct name for it. It's using the Reindeer Days, but the scrapbook one. I don't have, but there, yes, I have got the name here for it. It's the Reindeer Memories, and that's the paper that I'm using, and the stickers and everything. Colours a little bit, I'm not really 100% certain of, but my husband, who's very good with photos and colours and that sort of thing, he had a good look at it, and he says, yes, it'll do, get going, you're supposed to be doing your live. Okay, so we're going to go ahead with what I've got here. So let me just bring up, and I've been mucking around and I haven't got it up here, so bear with me. Let me add this to my screen. As you can see, there's the papers and everything that I'm playing with. But let me show you the idea that I've seen. Now, unfortunately, I've only got it on my phone, so let me just pop that up to the camera. Now, this is probably trying to work out whether this is back to front for you or not, because what I see on the camera is fine, but I think you guys have got it back to front. I know this is showing this back to front. So let me just see if I can mirror that and make that better. That's better for me anyway. I'm not quite sure for you guys. I may have to get in touch with the people that I'm using at the moment, Restream, and find out from them what's going on. But anyway, that's the image that I'm trying to duplicate, and that's done by a lady by the name of Jennifer Smith. But I'm not quite sure whether she did that on a YouTube live or not. So I'm sort of just changing it up a little bit because I don't have the reindeers. I'm not using the snowflakes, but I'm using the same papers. I don't have the sentiment that she's used. So we're going to mix it up and see what we come up with. So any tips or hints from you guys would be greatly appreciated. Hello, Joan. So let me just make this a bit smaller so we don't make me smaller, in other words. So let's go with that and let's bring that up so we can see what we've got here. So what I've got is a 4x6 photo of my boys, and I've matted it in some basic white and then I've matted it in basic black. So a photo like this is a standard photo, which is 4x6, and that's in inches, of course, because when I do scrapbooking, I just revert straight back to inches. So what I've done is a mat in the basic white, which is about 1/8 of an inch bigger, and then I've done a mat in my basic black, which is 2/8. So I've cut my basic white at 4 1/8 by 6 1/8, and then I have cut my basic black in 4 3/8 by 6 3/8. Okay, and the reason why I've done a double mat on that, I like double mats. I like the white, I like black, because they always make your photos really pop. This is a very dark photo on its own, so having those two colors there, the white is just going to lift out the white a little bit more in my photo. There is a lot of black, there's a lot of colors, because going by this, I must have Aaron's still in his school uniform, so I must have picked them up straight from school and gone to the shopping centre to have this done. So there's a lot of colour in here. with all the colours and the background and their clothing and so forth, and I'm just losing a little bit of track where I'm going with this conversation. But I wanted the white and the black to really make this photo pop. I'm just trying to get this so then the light's not shining on it. I'm really sorry. So I wanted to bring as much life into this as I possibly can. And because I'm using a black base for my cardstock and a lot of colours here, I've got to be very careful it doesn't overpower and make this photo again look dark. I generally use a lot of white in my layouts, so this is very different for me, where I'm using a lot of like blacks and a lot of designer series paper. I generally will start with a white base. So let's get started, because this could take me a little while. I've already cut a few pieces of paper here. I've cut these 3 strips here at about 4 inches in width. And I've cut these 2 pieces, which are going to be about my base. This one here is 4 inches, I believe, in width. Yep, this one's 4 inches. And this one was 7, and let's have a look up here. I've cut it at 7 inches. So let's get started, because the more we start, the more I will not procrastinate on what I'm doing. I will warn you, I tend to be someone that works a long time on my layouts. I tend to fiddle a lot. So we're going to see if I can do this without fiddling too much. And that's why I like to use what would you call it? A plan, a layout idea, whether it's something I've created myself or whether I've taken it from someone else. But what I am going to do first off is gut this. I want to have a 1-inch border all the way around. So I'm going to start off by cutting 1 inch, and I'm going to start this around about 1 inch down. I'm not going to be too worried. I want a 1/2 inch border all the way around my designer series paper. So I've got my trimmer here starting at about 2.5 centimetres, which is about 1 inch. And I've got my paper sitting on the inch mark here, and I'm going to take it right down to 1 inch from the bottom, which is about 2.5 centimetres. So that's down to about 28. Okay, and I'm going to do that all the way around. Now, because I'm only going to have about 1/2 inch showing, and I'm working on a 1 inch, and I've left that at 28, and I'm going to take that back up to about 2.5. If I cut a little bit bigger than my area, that's fine, because I've got that little bit of 1/2 inch play, but that 1/2 inch allows me to have area to adhere when other layers down on it. So again, I've got that starting at about 2.5 centimetres or 1 inch, and I'm going to take it down to 28 centimetres, which is around about that 11 inch mark. So one more. By gutting this out, I'm removing some of the weight, because I'm going to have lots of layers of paper on this. But I am also saving myself some paper that I can use at another time. So I can reuse this black in the middle here for matting other photos. So there we are. I can remove that from there, and there's my gutted piece in there. Okay, so that's that piece. Now these 2 pieces here, as I said, I've already cut this at 4 inches in width, but I do need to cut this down to 11 inches, because I want that 1/2 inch top and bottom. So I need to take 1 inch off the bottom of this. So I'm going to take 1 inch off there. And I'm going to take 1 inch off this piece here, which I've already cut at 7 inches. So it's 7 by 12, but I want to make it 7 by 11. Now I've just realised something. In Jennifer's design, she had a little bit of a black strip down the middle, and I haven't allowed for that because I've gutted my paper. So how can I fix that? That's going to be, we will make that easy enough. Okay, so we want to bring that in around about 1/2 inch on either side, and that's going to butt those two together. And that's fine. I can butt those two together because I think they're going to have enough all the way around without having to worry about that little bit in the middle, because I don't need to copy or case Jennifer's perfectly. But what I am going to do is I am going to go around these edges of this paper with some black ink. So I've got my Memento black here, and I've got a dauber, and I really just want to go around all these edges just very quickly and just sponge those edges black. Now, if I did want to add that little bit of a strip there are ways I can do that. I can cut a 1/4 or 1/8 inch strip and lay it down on the paper. I can show you that in a moment, because I do have some other black cardstock here that I can do that with. Just keep going around these edges while I'm talking. So I hope you've all had a lovely day, or having a lovely day. How are you going with your Christmas shopping? Getting there? My son's girlfriend came on the weekend, with him of course, and she and I are doing Christmas this year, which will be the first time that I've had someone help me do Christmas, so that's going to be good. So we've worked out a menu. We have yet to go and do our shopping, or I have yet to finish doing my shopping for our menu. Sorry, I just need to do the same with this one. Just go all around these edges. Just defines that edge a little bit, and this will also give that illusion of that black strip down through the middle too, without having to add something on there. But I will show you what you can do. And sometimes, you know, we do these things, we make a little bit of a mistake, but it's not necessarily let's throw it away and start again. It's working out a way you can make it work, because there is no such thing as a mistake. It's just let's work with it and make what we're doing work. Okay, so I've gone around all those edges. Now I do have to turn that paper up the other direction, because I have got a habit of putting this one upside down. So let's turn that around. Now I do have a T ruler here. I'm just working out where have I put it. Be somewhere underneath all my mess here. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to pop a little, I do like adding a little bit of a mark where I'm putting things so I know where I'm working. So I want to put, if we work this in inches, so I want a 1/2 inch there, 1/2 inch there, half an inch. So I'm just marking a 1/2 inch mark all the way around my black mat. I can go back in later on with an eraser and rub those out. That just gives me a bit of a starting point. And what we're going to do is we're going to adhere those down that one in that area there, and then this one here should fit right next to it. Now, as you can see, when you butt those up, you do have that black line down through the center. But what you can do if you wanted to is grab a piece of black cardstock. Now, these ones are a bit short, but I do have a piece of A4 here, I believe. Here's another full piece of, let me just have a look. This is a piece of 12 by 12. And what you can do is just cut a 1-inch strip and place that strip underneath in the area that you want it, and that would just adhere over the top, because you're just going to see just a tiny little bit. Or the other thing that you can do is take this strip here. So that's one way of putting a piece underneath. Cut this at, said 1/8 of an inch. So I've just got that at the 1/8 of an inch mark. Cut a strip like that. Cut this piece here at 11 inches. So I end up with that little bit there. That's right, it's always a bit for an embellishment. So then that could sit on there. And this is probably the way I would tend to do it. That piece there. And then you can just slip that piece right on top. So that's probably my way of fixing up that mistake. But anyway, I'm actually going to not worry about that because I've sponged all the way around the edges and I think I can get away with that. But I am going to add some adhesive on these 3 sides here. You don't need to go overboard with your adhesive. You just need to make sure you've got some, it's going to hold everything securely. You could also use your multi-purpose glue. But I'm just using those marks that I've popped on there. Just want to make sure that I've got that at 1/2 inch at the top. Could just bring that down just a fraction. So before I really push this down, I'm just going to lift it up. I'm going to use this ruler as my, so I've lined that up with those 1/2 inch marks I've popped on there. That should just give me that. Oh, it's still out a little bit, but that's okay. It's only 1/16 of an inch. So that's that one piece there. Oops, I put adhesive on the back there. I didn't need to, so let me just remove that. Otherwise, I'll be sticking to everything. That's where your embossing and buddy comes in handy. Just to, if you do have too much glue. And then make sure my trees are up the right way. I want to pop a bit of, almost time for a new roll of runner in this. Put a bit there. There. Butting those together. Again, just going to just double check. It's probably just a fraction out, but that's okay because I don't really want to put, and I'm just going to adhere that down. As long as everything is buttered together, and I'm just going to remove that little mark there, that one, and the others I don't think you can see. So there we go. So there's the start of our page. So let's bring in those other pieces that I have cut and see how we can get these all to work. So this is, and I'm going to just refer back to my phone a little bit. So what we've got now is, and as you can see there, she's probably put a little bit of a gap in between, but I've not done that with mine. So let's have a look. So what we want is, there's our photo, and our photo is going to sit roughly about there. And she has a piece of this sitting at about there like that. Now I don't know what size her photo is, so I can adjust this to wherever I want to have this looking. And I'm thinking at the moment that this piece here, I'm going to cut that at around about, probably at about 5 inches. And now she has another piece of this coming down here. So I'm going to cut this one here at about 5 inches, and I probably could make it a little bit narrower if I want, but I'm going to start with that at 5. So let's cut this at 5. It's always good to cut things a little bit bigger because you can always cut things down. Just make sure I've got that on inches. Whoops. A bit of rubbish in there, that's why. So that was going there, and that was going to sit somewhere like that. And she had another little piece of this, probably not as big, coming down on this corner here. So I'm going to cut another piece, cut this piece here down to 5 inches as well. But I don't need it probably as big or as wide. It does overlap a little bit, but I'm going to cut this down 5 by maybe 3. I'm going to keep all these bits and pieces because they could come handy on another card. And I might even make some of these a bit bigger because I don't want to have as much black, and I'm going to be using different titles and things. So I just want to get the basic layout similar to what she has. Basically what she's doing, and I think this is what's attracted me to this layout, is what she's done on this corner here. She's done something similar down there, but not necessarily bigger. So on the opposite corners, she's got the piece of Pool Party that's going across this way, but then another piece that's coming in and filling up this hole here. So again, I'm going to cut this piece, and it would go wider than that. I'm going to cut it again at 5 inches because it's going to allow me to play with it a bit. So once we've worked out where I want these pieces to sit, and then that piece there can sit. So we've got something along the lines of that so far. And this piece here can come down in size. We can move all these out a little bit, and then she had another smaller piece in this area here. So again, I'm going to cut this at 5. Bring back this in so we can have another look. So really she's made a square in that and then added that red strip down here. So that red strip basically goes almost the same height from there down to a little bit down there. So that measurement would be roughly 8 inches. So let's just cut this piece down to 8 inches. This is again a 4-inch piece. So let's just extend this. Cut ourselves an 8-inch strip. And that is all going to sit. Okay, that is going to sit all in there a little bit. Okay. So this piece here we can cut smaller, which I might cut that by 3 inches and cut about 2 inches off that. Okay, so let's grab this. So let's make this 3. And I'd cut that at 5. I'm going to start with 4 inches, 3 by 4, because I don't want to make it square. I might need to make it a little bit narrower. Came to about there. This one here. That actually sits, that one goes under there and over that one. It's almost like playing a puzzle here. So that came down over that. Came down over that one. That is something similar to what she's got. This was a bit narrower still. So that was there. This is too long, I think. Okay, let's start by, I like the size I've got of that piece. I like the size I've got of this piece here and this piece and even this one. So I'm going to edge all of these. So let me grab that again. And we're going to go around and just, don't need to blacken all the way down on that one, but I do need to blacken all the way around on that. And we'll just make sure we've got enough for there. This one here, again, just around there. So I might just do all the way around all 4 sides. Doesn't take that long to do it. And if we turn things around, we can. Now, if you're going to do this sort of thing, remember to always give credit to the person who designed the layout. And I'm sure Jennifer Smith does do YouTube videos. I have been watching a lot of them. She may have been a close to my heart person. Let's do this one as well. I'm not going to do the red one as yet because I think I need to trim it down a little bit. And then we need to work out what embellishments we're going to use, because I'm not doing the black reindeer and all that black on there. But I may have to play around with some of the bits and pieces. Now, if you haven't already purchased this particular workshop class, you can get it at the moment on the last chance, and it's reduced down to $29.75, which is a great price. Okay, so let's have another look at my page and let's start working out where we're going to pop these. So this one here, I'm just going to pop a little bit of adhesive there in the middle because I want to allow room for things to stick in and out. Now, it was a bit wider at bit more width at the top to the bottom, so let's stick that one there. Again, I'm just going to pop a little bit of adhesive in the center of that one, and this one here I'm going to stick like that, so I'm still able to slip things in underneath here. Okay, so this one here is going to come across there like that. So again, I'm going to pop a little bit of adhesive just there. Now, I haven't spoken about the sizes I've cut, well, I have really, but this piece at the top here, I ended up cutting it down to 4 inches by 5. This one here at the bottom, I've cut 3 by 5. This one here, I've cut it at 4 by 5. And that one there is going to go I think something like that. And then this one, I'm just going to pop a bit of adhesive here. And this piece here is cut at 3 by 4. And that one is going to slip underneath there. Like that. So that's all now adhered down. Then this piece here we need to work out, because what Jennifer has done, she's got it slightly smaller than the height of this. So it's in between these two sizes here. So the top of this to the bottom, so the top of the brown piece up here to the bottom of my pool party is 7 3/4, and I reckon if I cut that at the red piece at 7 3/4, let's just have another look. 7 and yeah, it's about 7 3/4. It's a quarter less than 8 inches. And I reckon if I cut this at 7 1/4, just be at the size I want, I think. So I'm just going to grab my big, open this up again, and let's measure 7 1/4. So this net piece now is 7¼ by 4. And if we had a look at this, comparing it to my image here, that's going to go somewhere like that. And that's going to sit something like so. So now I can do the edges on this red piece here. And I think that's going to look pretty good. I think so far so good. So I'm hoping I've got enough ink in this dauber. So we'll go around these 3 sides. Now my style of scrapbooking has changed a lot in the last 10 years, mainly because I haven't done mainly card making for the last 13 years, and I have learnt a lot from the Close to My Heart girls in how they do scrapbooking. I never used to use as many papers and relied a lot more on embellishments and that sort of thing.
Creation is super fun.
Whoops.
And other times it can feel really overwhelming or exhausting. And
okay, my phone is going to get switched off.
So excited to
hold on a sec.
This episode is full of inspiration, but also
let's just move that right out of the road. That's better. My phone has been playing up a little bit, whereas all of a sudden it picks up on something and starts giving like a program. Someone talking will come up or music will come on. It's got a mind of its own. Okay, so that's going to go about there. So I just saw there was a comment there from Nicole. Nicole's put giving credit when you use someone's design. Let me just highlight this because I think this is actually very important. Giving credit when you use someone's design or folding techniques is really important. It very much is. It encourages sharing ideas, and I used to get really annoyed with people who mass-produced the items you made. Yeah, I mean, look, I think if you post something on Facebook, whether you post it on Facebook, whether you put it on a blog, you're open then for people to use that idea. And I think it's the best form of criticism if someone really likes your idea and uses it. The only thing I don't like is if they don't say they don't give credit to where it should have been, like to the person who actually originally designed it, because it's not yours. It's not your design idea. It is somebody else's design idea. So I can understand, yes, you're getting upset about it because, I mean, I think we all do to a point, because you put a lot of work in what you create, and you want people to know that, you created this idea, not somebody else. So, yes, it is important. I feel that, when people have cased me, I feel a little bit upset if they haven't mentioned that their idea that they have used from something that I've done. But I do look at it very much in, well, they must really like it. So, it is, I mean, you would hope that people would do the right thing. I certainly do. I hope people, if they want to case me, do the right thing and give me credit. But, it's for classes without giving me the credit, especially when they didn't attend the class. Yeah, that's, I mean, I get a lot of people, I don't know. I just think it's the best form of criticism. It means that they like your work. Yes, it is very, very important if we case something that we give credit where credit is due to the person who originally designed it, because it's not your design. Like, this is not my design. But I will say this is probably about as far as close to her design that I'm going to get, because I'm going to add different embellishments. I don't have the deer. I don't have the sentiment that she used. So now from this point on, I'll be using my own things. I think, you've got to give that credit to that person. It's not nice when people are just mass producing your stuff without giving credit, without saying, hey, thanks. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to get myself any more into deep trouble with this one. Okay, so, but yeah, I know where you're coming from, Nicole. It's so true. You want people to say thank you. You want people to say, yes, I like that idea and I got that from, Jennifer Smith. I liked her layout. I liked the way she used those papers. I'm not copying. I haven't used her measurements and the fact, but I like to eyeball it. And I suppose that's one of the reasons why I was doing this class today, is so then you can see how you can take an image that you've seen and you've liked. You don't necessarily need to ask somebody to hand over their measurements. You should be able to work it out, because photos are going to be different sizes. I don't know whether the photo she used was a 4x6. I just knew that was the photo I had, and because this is a professional photo taken by someone in a shopping centre 20 odd years ago, I don't have unless I want to go to the trouble of scanning it and then going and getting it reprinted in different size. But, excuse me, I'm using what I've got. Okay, so that's what we've got here. So I'm going to adhere this down now. And then we're going to add some embellishments. So this is where I'm going to really need you guys to give me a helping hand. And I've just used the last of that. So let me grab my new one and pop that in, which I have got here. It's been sitting here now for about 2 or 3 weeks waiting for this to happen. But I suppose, Nicole, you can always say this. You can understand why Stampin' Up then gets so annoyed when companies copy them, and take their ideas, their artwork, because it's the same thing. So when we're putting copyright on things because of Stampin' Up stuff, it's also, it's ours as well, because we've come up with the layout. They've come up with the artwork and we've come up with the layout. Okay, so I'm going to pop that at around about there. So I'm not putting a big title here. If I was, I could have moved that across that way a little bit more. But mine is going to there. So let's have a look at the stickers and the embellishments that Stampin' Up have given us with this kit. Now, there is a lot of white in this because most of their embellishments and everything came with a white base. I was thinking of putting a Christmas tree in here, but I think that's just going to be too big, and it gets lost in all of that and all of the green we've got there. So I don't think I'm going to use the Christmas tree. Now, you can go around the Christmas tree with that little bit of black and see we can add something like that. Titles, I think, could be too big. I'm just going to have a look at the deers, see what the deers look like. I just don't know whether there's just too much white in all of this, or whether because again, we've got the stickers. There's a lot of black in this, but there's not much in this. The other thing I have got is my little boxes of bits and pieces here. So I do have And this is just going through all the pieces that I've done. Now that is not real red. This is real red, but I think it has got cherry cobbler in it. This is cherry cobbler. So we could put Christmas on here. We've already got the year on our photo, 2001. Just reading Nicole's comment here. Totally, that's why SU have had to drastically change their marketing for catalogues and limit online timelines. Yeah, and they did a big write-up the other day about making sure you put the copyright mark on if you're writing up a blog or anything, a post of any sort, that you put their copyright on it at least once behind. I think it was once they said. So I mean, you got to take all those sort of things into account. Now I'm just having a look at what I've got in here, and I've got some deers. Let's see if I can find all the bits and pieces to them, because I went crazy in cutting up the deers, just really, really crazy. I've got a couple of these pieces here. Now I'm just trying to think. I still need these white bits there. There's Christmas already done. Let's make sure I've got 3 of these deers. Whether I use these or not, I don't know yet. There's some berries, but I don't know whether I've got any holly left. Might have to grab very quickly. We can cut some holly out of one of the designer series papers. That's no problem. I don't know whether I've got any real red here. There are a few other things here. So as I said, if you've got any ideas, yeah, the deer with a wreath around its neck, that's what I'm thinking. Got that one as well. Got a couple of that one. Be good just to use up some of these bits and pieces that I have. I've got that in the real red, and I've got some white. So let's just have another quick look of what we've got here. So I've got deers coming out my ears. Okay. So we could use Christmas. I do have I've also pulled out the Reindeer Fun and the Reindeer Memories. Because if we use, like, say, like this title here, we can stamp that in black. Oh, excuse me. Onto a piece of white, but I don't know. It's almost like it's, yeah, I'm just not quite sure. I'm not even quite sure whether this is going to work or whether I stamp Christmas together is better. I'm just sort of having a look at, well, let's put some of these deers together. Let's just move this out of the road and let's put these deers together so we can have a look and see what we come up with. That might be a good idea. Look, there's one deer already done. So that one there is done. So we need I just think these deers are so cute. I'm actually sad that this one is being it's in the last chance pile as well. But you know what? It means that there's probably going to be something better next Christmas. Making sure they're all lined up. There's two. And I've just put the glue on the wrong side of that one. That's okay. Got to put the glue on the back. Probably really didn't matter. I probably could have used it. Where is it? I threw it in here. Because actually, that I don't think is going to matter. Because I'll just pop this one on top. So we've got 1, 2. Now we can do this one here. That's going to give us 4 reindeers. And a bit of glue came out from there. Just add a bit of glue just there. This one. Two. And we can make even, I'm wondering whether I've got that one. And then so there's 4 deers. So let's just bring this back in. Let's have another fiddle. Just going to move those out of the road so we don't get ourselves confused about stuff. And that, let's just have a look. So we could probably pop a couple of deer there. Now I'm just layering these at the moment, so nothing is finalised. Because I do want to try to use, if we can, some of these bits and pieces. Okay, I'm just working out what I've got. I mean, the only problem with a lot of these is there's a lot of white. I'll tell you what I do have handy. Let me just pop that back on there for a sec. Because I did also pull out where did I put it? Here we are. And these have got a lot of white in them as well, but a lot of these we can use up. Let's have a look. Let's see what else we've got. Because we can mix and match lots of different things. We don't have to do everything all. So I'm just going to move those out of the road for a second, because I'm just sort of thinking we could bring in some of these. That could look good. And I've got this split tree, and we could bring him in, that in there, because that's bringing in some of all these colours and everything. Actually, I'm liking this a little bit better. We can pop some of these up on dimensionals. Any suggestions, ladies? What do you like? Do you like the deers? So we had the deers. I'm just wondering whether that just wasn't quite joined enough. What else have we got in here? Got to have a reason for being there. That's the only thing I like to follow, is there's got to be a reason. I don't like just putting things down for the sake of putting things down. So I'm not quite sure about that. Don't want those. Don't want those. Don't know whether I like that. Sticker with the deer decorating the tree. Let's have a look. That one. Let's just have a look. We'll take it off. I can always put it back if I don't like it. Yeah, it just seems to be a bit, I don't know. Could be just me. I've never been, I don't know, I like them, but I've never been a real big sticker person. I'm just sort of like, yeah. Let's have a look at this one. What do you think of that? I mean, I can sit here procrastinating for a long time. This is where I need you guys. 4 kids, 4 deers is cute, but the present cluster is good too. just needs a third element. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? I'm just not quite sure. I mean, we've got completely different. I don't know. There's a lot of black in this. That's the thing. Where's those presents again? I just want to, because I did like the presents, but I'm just wondering whether the D's could be, if you use the presents, because you want to have 3. 1, 2, 3. So, to me, that's a bit lost. This is just where I tend to sit and I procrastinate and procrastinate. I'm trying not to do that today. I definitely think the die cut titles are way too big. They just hide everything. You get lost. Definitely use the ho ho ho. Yeah, I like that too. Putting things down now and don't know where I've put them. Just wondering what else have I got in here that. Wondering if that's getting too lost in that red. Let's have a look. So pool party but I think that's just, pool party's in there, but I just don't think that's quite right. Trying to work out what else have I got here. Got another holly leaf, the same as that one. So I could put another cluster up here with just a holly leaf. Put that on there. Bring that into there. It's starting to look a little bit better because I've got red there, I've got the holly leaf there. I don't mind that little cluster there. And D doesn't have to be square. The other thing would be to put that one there. Or bring this one. That I tend to like a bit better. That's bringing that up to there. And then this little fella can go down here. Okay, I'm going to put these berries on, I think. Don't know whether I have another holly, but we could use... Don't need to put a holly in there if I wanted to. Just pop this one here on. There's a lot in that. That could even go up a little bit further. It's hot here today, but it's not too bad. Okay, let's have a look. So we've got a ho ho ho, we've got love this, we've got a present, we've got family time, we've got joy. What else do I have in my little bits and pieces? That's more holly, but it's in a different green. This one here's got granny apple green on it. That one is garden green. It's both of them work because we've got garden green here and oh, right there. Look, here we go. Another one there, but this is a berry I've got there is a real red, whereas these are cherry cobbler. So I'm wondering if I've got another cherry cobbler in here. I've got a little bell. I've got a bell. Oops. A little silver bell. Another silver bell. Just sort of trying to build up these a little bit more. We don't need that one, don't need that. Still trying to find another cherry cobbler. I can always cut a cherry cobbler one out a little bit later on and add it to it, so that's no Let's just check all these other little bits and pieces, see if there's anything in here that can be used. I've only got the 2 bells. Nope, nothing in there, nothing in that one. Nothing in that. Okay. So I might stick that one and into there, but I can come back and add. Think about that one, but I can come back and add it. I like the little bells. I think they need to be there. That can come down, I think, more, come up more. How's that starting to look? Don't really want to make it too busy. Does that need that in there? Don't need any journaling because I don't think there's really much to journal about. As far as the fact that it was taken in 2001 and the ages of my boys, I'm just having a look to see. The ho 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 needs to go up there. Okay, so let's just pop. So I do like that on there. This I've got adhesive strip underneath. So what I might do first off, so let's just glue some of this down a little bit. I'm going to glue this one here on there flat because the ho 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 is going to sit down over the top of it. That can go about there. Peel the backing off this one. Just trying not to stretch that. Okay, pair of tweezers. I think I've got that quite straight. Now, unfortunately, I've stuck those down on there, and I don't know whether I can get that off. Might be able to. It's just my dot. There we go for that eye. So that can go there. This little fella here can go up on a dimensional. Put 2 dimensionals under him. And I do like these bells, so that can... This is what happens when you create something and you have leftovers and you keep them for a little bit. Might just have it sort of swinging that way. Bring that coming from underneath. Dear. Then we'll pop this one up. And I think he can go up on dimensionals too. This one's going to go more out that way. Don't want it the same level as that one. Probably could have put that a bit higher, so I might bring that down onto that corner there. Now, I never did get those embellishments that look like the lollies. I wish I had now, because that would look good on here. Now, this one here we don't have. Look, I think I might get away with it. I'm going to use these berries. Saves having to cut just for one lot of berries. Whoop, 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 whoop. Those berries decided they didn't want to stay. There we go. Let's push that down. That'll all stay there. Okay. Do we need to add more? We've got Christmas. We've got ho, ho, ho. Family time. I just don't know whether anything else really is applicable. Any ideas? You think it looks fantastic, Sue? Leave it as is, because I don't want to overdo it. Let's just remove some of the... I really think that's probably about enough. I probably could put... I don't know whether I've got any... I've put silver on here, so I can't add anything gold, but I do have that, which has got silver. I don't think I've even got anything with red in it. I may have really old. Those ones which have got red. No. No, no, no. Let's have a look. Not going to use the gold, but we could put, like I've got black here since we've got so much black in this. We could add a few black and silver. I like the silver ones because we've got silver bells over here, but we've got no silver over here. Little cluster of 3 there. Actually, I'm wondering whether I can... One, two, three, forming a little bit of bling there. Another one there. Another one there. Okay. So I think that might be that for me. And another Christmas photo done. So what do you think? Just remember to write the kids' names and ages somewhere on the page. Do I have to? Yes, I probably really should, shouldn't I? Well then, okay. It has this, it has that piece there. I could cut that down. And that could get tucked under. How about that if I put that into, I think if it comes out from about there. Whoops, get it straight, girl. It's decided to stick on something. Come on, out. Almost had it where I wanted it. How about that? Then I can write their names and that just on there. Was that bringing it down too low? Aaron, Hayden, Robert, Patrick. Yeah, I think I need that there. So that's bringing it quite low there, and this is there's a lot of gap here. I like usually having more gap at the bottom, but you're right, it needs something to put there, Nicole. Okay, which one? Just need to give it a bit more height. So there's that one. Still not a lot of height there. Or that just sort of blends into that. That's the only problem with that one. And that one there is completely different, but it brings in this green here, which is, I mean, all over here, but you could put that there. I'm just playing with this a bit here. Pop that there. Problem is, this is got that. That's giving it a bit more height up. So I'm very aware that if you go down too far here, everything looks like it's falling off the page. But I do like having that writing on there. I'm just trying to think, is there something else? Yeah. Do like having those two on there. Just lifts that green a little bit. What do you think? Yes, no? So I think I'm going to stick that down. I think I do like that. The other thing would be to take that one away and just have that one on there, because that's also working diagonally. But then that gives you that green. I think I do like that there. I'm going to pop that in. But I do like this too, so I'm going to pop this in as well. That's just giving it more height to compensate this down here. And I think that is going to have to be it before we get too carried away. Otherwise, I just think, yeah, I'm hoping this little, that might need to move closer in, but I don't think I can move him. Okay. I could keep fiddling and fiddling and fiddling and fiddling, and I'm not going to. We're going to say that is done and dusted, my lovelies. So thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you've liked that. I'm sorry I didn't make it on Tuesday night, but we had water cut off for the day, and we're supposed to be back on at 3 o'clock, but we still had no water until about 6:30. So, yeah. But anyway, thank you very much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed that and taking an idea from someone else. And in this case, it was switch my phone off. I'm trying to think. Her surname is Smith, Jennifer Smith. So, yeah, I really, really enjoyed doing that. It's a little bit more out of my comfort zone because, as I said before, I generally have a lot of white on my layouts. But, no, this is actually looking quite good. And with the bits of white here, with the white in the Christmas, the white in the journaling box, and even the holly has got a lot of white in it, and the white in the deers, it's just enough to lighten that up. So thank you. I hope that encourages you to pull this out. Remember, this particular workshop is in the last chance at the moment, and it is at $29.75, so which is bargain price. That's okay, Sue. Thank you for jumping on anyway. So have a lovely day. Take care. And I'm actually finished up my sewing for the year. So I'm going to be doing probably a little bit more scrapbooking. I have got another idea in my head. I just got to find the photos I want to use, and they won't be Christmas photos. Let me just bring me back up so you can see me. So I might even pull that out and have a bit of a play with that, and it will be a bit of fun working on some of my wedding photos from many, many years back. But I'm very slowly, one page at a time, getting my wedding album sorted out. But anyway, I will catch up with you hopefully on Tuesday. Have a lovely weekend. It looks like it's going to be beautiful weather. So take care and enjoy it. And I'll chat with you all later. Thank you very much for joining me. I really appreciate it.